Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to crack open one of the most powerful and maybe most misunderstood tools in the world of finance. We are demystifying the irrevocable trust. Think about it. You've worked your entire life, you've built something valuable, something you're proud of. But here's the real question. Is it actually protected? Is that legacy you've built truly safe from things like taxes, creditors, or other financial curveballs? And that is the central problem we're digging into today. So let's start at the beginning. The term irrevocable trust can sound pretty intimidating. I get it. But at its core, it's really just a financial fortress. So let's get into how this thing is actually built. At its heart, a trust is a pretty simple idea. Just imagine a super secure legal box. One person, the grantor, puts their valuable assets into the box. Another person, the trustee, is in charge of managing everything inside the box. And finally, the beneficiaries are the people who ultimately get to enjoy what's in the box. That's it. Three key players, one very powerful concept. Okay, so this is where it really clicks. Think of a revocable trust like a pop-up shop. It's flexible, you can change things on the fly, but at the end of the day, everything in it is still legally yours. An irrevocable trust, though, that's like a fortified corporation. It's built to last, it's rigid. But here's the trade-off. For giving up that flexibility, you get incredible protection, because legally the assets aren't yours anymore. They belong to the trust itself. So that begs the question, right? If this thing is so rigid, why on earth would anyone choose to build this fortress? Well, the answer is all about the incredible advantages you get in return. Okay, let this number sink in for a second. 40%. That is the top federal estate tax rate right now. That means for larger estates, nearly half of the wealth you've built could go straight to taxes instead of to your family. I mean, that's a huge threat to anyone's legacy. And this right here is the magic trick, the key to the whole thing. This legal separation is everything. Because the assets are no longer considered yours, they typically fall outside of your taxable estate. So that scary 40% tax we just talked about, poof. For the assets in the trust, it often just doesn't apply. So when you strip it all away, you're left with these two huge pillars of protection. First, you get to slash or maybe even totally eliminate those massive estate taxes. And second, you build a wall around those assets, protecting them from your future creditors or any potential lawsuits. It's a fortress that's both tax-proof and lawsuit-proof. All right, so you've built this amazing financial fortress, but a fortress needs a commander, right? Someone has to run the show. You can think of a trust like a business, and the trustee, well, the trustee is the CEO. And let me tell you, this is not just a title. Being a trustee comes with some very serious legally binding duties. The biggest one, the one you really need to understand, is the fiduciary duty. That's a high legal bar that means they must always act in the best interest of the beneficiaries, period. On top of that, they manage investments, handle payments, keep perfect records, and file taxes. It's a real job with real consequences. So the big question is, who do you hire for this top job? You've really got two main paths. You could pick a family member or a close friend. They'll know your family, they might even do it for free, but they might not have the financial chops, and things can get messy with family. The other option is a corporate trustee, like a bank. They're professionals, they're objective, but they do charge fees. It's a real balancing act, and honestly, it's one of the most critical decisions you'll make. And this isn't a set and forget it kind of deal, not at all. A good trustee is always working. They're constantly monitoring investments, checking on insurance policies, doing the accounting, and, this is a big one, keeping the lines of communication open with the beneficiaries. A healthy trust is an actively managed one. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, that word, irrevocable. It sounds so permanent, so final, right? But here's where things get really interesting. I mean, this is the number one hang-up people have, right? If I do this, am I locked in forever? What if my life changes? What if the laws change? Well, you might be surprised to hear that the answer is often no. You see, modern trusts are actually designed with some pretty clever escape hatches built right in. The first one is called a trust protector. This is an independent person you name in the trust who is given special powers, like the power to fire a trustee who isn't doing a good job, or even to amend the trust to deal with new tax laws. Then there's escape hatch number 2, and this one has a great name, decanting. It's exactly like it sounds. Just like you'd pour old wine into a new decanter to let it breathe, a trustee can often pour the assets from an old, outdated trust into a brand new one with better, more modern terms. It's an amazing way to adapt. And last but not least, sometimes the solution is just getting everyone to agree. With a non-judicial agreement, if the trustee and all the beneficiaries get on the same page, they can often agree to modify the trust's terms without ever stepping foot in a courtroom. As long as it doesn't go against the original spirit of the trust, it's a great option. Okay, let's take a breath. We've covered a lot of ground: what this fortress is, why you'd build it, who's in charge, and the secret ways it can actually be pretty flexible. So let's wrap this all up. So, if you walk away with anything today, let it be these key points. First, an irrevocable trust gets assets out of your name and your estate. The two big wins are huge tax savings and rock-solid creditor protection. The trustee is the CEO running the show. And most importantly, irrevocable does not mean set in stone. It's a serious tool for sure, especially for people worried about that estate tax. And that, of course, brings us back to you. This financial fortress offers undeniable power and protection. The only question left is whether this strategic move is the right one to protect your legacy.